Everyone, welcome to Self Discovery Support. This is going to be a storytelling discovery session supported by Oracle and Tarot cards. In this session, you may recognize yourself or the person you are connecting to in the characters. I want you to think of this as an opportunity for reflection and growth. There's more information to help you on your journey in the description box once the live stream ends. And please support my work with a thumbs up and subscribe for more. So we're going to start with a quick blessing. Most High, please guide this reading for the highest good of the collective. And please send all negative energy back to sender. All right. And another thing that I should add is that this could be your story. You could see yourself in it, but this may also not be your story as well, right? And so don't force it. There's other readings that you can make use of. All right. Today we are using the Cosmic Creatures deck and the Change Tarot, and we may introduce another deck at some point. All right, but we're gonna get going. So there are two cards here. It's not a pick a card. This is about a connection, right? Your connection. And we have two people in a connection here. One comes up in this penguin energy, and the other one comes up in this hummingbird energy. Now, when I put these cards down, what I noticed is that they are both birds, right? So they're kind of similar, or they have a kind of way of looking at the world that could be similar, but they, as birds, they are the most different you could get, right? One of you in this connection, if you are connecting to this, and I'm gonna tell you about them now so that you can see if this is your reading, right? The penguin is more grounded. Clearly, it's a bird that doesn't fly. So this is somebody that has the potential to, right? But maybe prefers being more practical, more rooted. And certainly the penguin is also like a bird that's known for family and community. So one of you in this connection could be more about like the people around you, could be more about staying connected, right? Like always needing to be connected to the bigger community. Could be somebody that's quite like popular or well liked, or just knows how to fit into social settings. Could be somebody that maybe also like was raised around like a big family or big groups of people. This is somebody that maybe like the bigger opinion is important. It's not just like about the individual. But if you look at the penguin, he's looking over at the hummingbird, right? So there's something about this hummingbird person that they're connecting to that is fascinating, is what I would say. Almost like you are like me, but so very different. In your connection, this hummingbird person, now you can see if this is going to be you or if it's not going to be you, but this person is doing their own thing and also is not just a bird that flies, but like rapid flight, right? So this is somebody that is very responsive to I would say flexible in their thoughts, where is like connecting to something higher as well, like a higher purpose, and very able to kind of be in and out, maybe not necessarily as connected to community as this penguin person, and is really always like answering like what they need in the moment. This person could be very good at being present in the now, but not necessarily about that kind of like having community, having people have influence. as the penguin is. So it's kind of like very different. These two, if you're in a connection, you have a similar base, but are almost like opposite ends of what you could be, right? So this is going to be interesting to look at you both if you relate to this as your connection. All right, so let's look at some of what is here between you, so you'll know for if this is your story. We have the Knight of Cups, Four of Cups. Okay, the Fool. No, this is not upright. This is kind of like this, so I'm gonna take it as reverse, but consider that it's like not fully reverse. All right, and this is the Judgment card. All right, so far, what is happening between you two? Somebody feels strongly about the other in terms of, I look at you and I feel like I could go there again in terms of romantically. Like I feel connected to you, and sometimes this is also like a spiritual connection. You make me think about like romance and maybe higher types of connection, like a soulmate. But this is more about like I want to tell you, right? Okay, so this is something that was present in your connection, in your situation, but what happened? Okay, Four of Cups. Something did not go in the way that maybe you and your person thought it was gonna go. It was promising, like the feelings were there, but it feels like the first go around was not maybe the way you would have wanted it, right? It wasn't ideal for as much feeling, as much kind of romantic ideas as there were in the beginning. It's not that way, or it didn't go exactly that way. And there could be a sentiment between you of like, okay, it would be nice if there was another opportunity. Maybe one of you is feeling this more. But there's a kind of like reluctance here. The Fool is like somebody who jumps off, like let's do this. But I feel like somebody doesn't want to do this as readily again. Now in reverse, it can be I rushed into this too quickly, and so I have regrets rather. I said mistakes. Okay, so maybe somebody feels they made mistakes. I rushed in too quickly. I felt strongly and I felt really called to do that. There's been something about your connection that actually has been very illuminating for one of you, in terms of I'm seeing something about my life. I'm seeing something about me as a person, and also maybe my own ideas. Just below this, there's the Queen of Pentacles and the Devil card. There could be something here about like being attached to something, being already attached to somebody else, feeling bound to somebody else when this situation enters. And that could also be the reason that you and this person feel a kind of discontent, right? Somebody wasn't able to just embrace the feelings here. Knight of Swords. But I think the thing that's been like a wake-up call is it's actually pushed somebody to like work on either themselves, their money, their prosperity, or put work in to being like a more decisive person, because it's like seeing yourself. One of these people, I don't know, I'm feeling like it could be this penguin. I feel it could be this penguin because the penguin is attached to community. The penguin is sometimes family guy, family person type of thing. or is already connected and is very committed, right? But just look at like how the penguin is looking at the hummingbird. It's like, oh, you're like fascinating, right? You've shown me something else about life, or something that I didn't realize that I wanted to look at. And now we have two people here, King and Queen of Swords, with this Eight of Pentacles. Maybe these two are trying to like work things out. This feels like not this connection. I don't know. Two people that are alike, but there's a kind of like, I'm bound to this. There is the Seven of Swords here, and okay, that actually makes me think, okay, yeah. So I do, okay, I think that this pair could be this penguin and hummingbird connection here, if you're connecting to it. And I'm going to describe that. It's like both of you have like a very sharp intuition, intellect as well. So you could connect mentally, intellectually. And however, it's almost like you feel like this has to be some kind of undercover connection. It's not something that can be open right now. Somebody has felt very inspired by this connection, felt very almost like called to a new path. Like this could be exciting curiosity is what I would call this. I'm curious what it would be like. What would my life be like if I were with you? But it's feeling like maybe this penguin person is with another person, a Queen of Pentacles, who maybe is in some way supporting them, in some way a partner that they chose. And there is like a kind of like binding energy, which tells me like this penguin person doesn't feel the luxury or the leisure to pick up and leave, even though they have met or seen someone else that is fascinating. All right, let's pull a second line on this situation. Okay, what now? Okay, what now? The Five of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and the Star. Okay, there's a Ten of Swords here. All right, it feels like when I was pulling the cards, the emotion that came, it felt frustrating, because it feels like, you know, it's like you're walking along the street and you see someone and it's like recognition, like, yes, I should go in that direction. But I already had like maybe shopping bags in my hand. I was going towards, you know, this direction, and I had people waiting on me. I'm not at leisure to just like roam. Now let's look at this. Two fives. This is telling me that this situation, this connection has introduced some kind of conflict between the two of you, because somebody had to go back to the person, the family, or whatever they committed to. And that means that they had to leave the other one out. Five of Swords. This is feeling like a rejection to the other person. This is feeling like you left me and you rejected me. And with the Star, it's kind of feeling actually quite, I could feel quite serious to maybe both people. I think this could be the perspective of both people, because one person has to maybe honor commitments and the other person has some kind of other calling, other direction. And even though they're able to be present now for this, it's like maybe I still have to keep moving. It's feeling like we have had to like leave each other, choose other things, other paths. Five of Swords. it almost feels like there's no way to win at this, but you both know that this is some kind of like major connection for you. So it's feeling like if you are connecting to all of this that we've been talking about so far, it's Ten of Swords. Right now, we have had to have an ending, and it does feel like an ending, which could, as we said, it felt hurtful because it's like seeing through the doorway to like what could be, and now that has to end. Temperance, okay, it feels like this feels more like a message if you are connecting to this reading as part of your situation. It's feeling like there will be a time when, even though things have had to end now, there'll be a time when things will go back to normal in a way. Like there will be a sense of like, okay, we get back into the routine. All the heightened emotions are, you know, things go back to normal. Like we feel a sense of normalcy again. What felt like major heartbreak, we didn't see the Three of Swords, but it could feel, as I said, it felt frustrating. We'll go back to a kind of calm. So maybe some time will go past as well. And we'll feel kind of more regulated. And it feels like that is the time, once that happens, there's gonna be some kind of call to make a judgment. Like, it's time now. No, okay. I am most curious about what this judgment means, because this to me could feel like, okay, we get to start over. It's feeling like, okay, there's Six of Cups, Four of Wands. I think I need one more. All right, so we do have another pair here, which is really interesting in one reading to have like two pairs. It feels like once things have kind of settled, once things, like there's perspective after this ending that came, you and this person, particularly this person, I'm thinking it's the Penguin, might be able to make a decision. And this to me feels like the current situation. What is my intention when it comes to this? Is this something I want to continue to build? Or is this something that I want to make a kind of judgment call on? So it feels like some time has to pass between the two of you before that can actually happen. The King and Queen of Wands are quite an energetic pair, a lot of attraction. But yeah, it's like, do I build? Do I choose now to build with you? Do I choose now to go in that direction? Okay. If this was your reading, I want to find out what would the Penguin say to the hummingbird and what would the hummingbird say to the Penguin. Yeah, okay. Okay, all right. So the Penguin, if you relate to being this Penguin person that we've been talking about so far, the one who's maybe in a commitment, who cannot stray away right now, but is totally changed by the experience of meeting this hummingbird person. I think what you would want to say is like, you showed me a lot of things that I never saw before. You you kind of allowed me to focus and think about things that I never considered. Almost like you highlighted things about my life, about like big questions in my life, and caused me to have to really go inside and question why I'm doing what I'm doing. Question what I want as well. Question the values that I'm living by. And also like start to see more clearer what I want to go towards. And you have somehow in that process increased my confidence in moving forward. And this is like I am moving in your direction. Maybe you don't see that yet, but I am moving in your direction. I have had to take time to like really go deep inside. If you are this penguin person, this person could have Virgo or Cancer or Sagittarius in their chart. All right. If you are this hummingbird person, I feel like we haven't heard a lot about the hummingbird person. This is what the hummingbird person would want to say to the penguin person. Four of Swords. Okay. All right. Let's get one more since, okay. All right. Yeah. The hummingbird person would say, okay, I had to take some time away from this situation. I think this hummingbird person has a lot of emotions that maybe were not disclosed because it's feeling like this affected them. The penguin person might think, oh, this really changed my life. It changed the way I see things. But for this hummingbird person, it was very affecting, so much so that they had to take the time away. And, if we go back to like facts about the hummingbird is a bird that kind of metabolizes really quickly. And is probably very sensitive, right? So things that might seem regular or things that people can't see deeply into, the hummingbird is able to do that, right? Because they have that type of perspective. And so this hummingbird person is somebody that felt like they had to take that break. They had feelings, Page of Cups. They had a lot of feelings, but had to kind of put the brave face on and move away from this situation because it felt like this hummingbird person maybe felt like they could have lost themselves in this situation. The King of Pentacles appears here, okay? Now, there was a Queen of Pentacles for the penguin. So it's looking to me like this penguin clearly had somebody already, right? A partner. It's feeling like this hummingbird is being called. Maybe it's a spiritual calling, but it's feeling that they're being called to, if you look at these cards, there's another person. I remember saying in a reading, I think it's maybe a couple days ago, that the universe does tend to like reroute you. So if this penguin person, was like somebody that they saw like a partner in, universe is rerouting this hummingbird person, like, right? Because moving towards what's for you best, showing you other options, and new opportunities, even though this could have been the one that the hummingbird person wanted. It's like choosing better for yourself, right? And that took a lot of energy, took a lot of strength and bravery and commitment to themselves and their path. All right, okay, that was That was a lot to get out. And kind of emotional. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, I met you. You're totally somebody that I see big potential in, like meeting you changed my life type of thing, I think for both of them. But for some reason, we are already going in different directions. All right. Word of advice for both of you. The Empress. It feels like there will be justice served for you, right? If it's not to be with this person, for one of them, I'm thinking maybe that maybe there's an opportunity later, because as we saw, temperance, right? Time has to go by. But also it could be that the justice is that whatever you lost will come back to you in other ways, in new ways even. I'm kind of feeling like these two will keep an eye on each other for their whole life. It's likely to say. Yeah. All right. So let us draw the zodiac signs. Let me know if you like this format. I'm trying to keep the readings more anonymous. You know, I feel like people get polarized when I use zodiacs or whatever. I think using creatures or plants is a more anonymous, organic way. Okay, who is here? All right, so bear in mind, if this is only if you're related to this reading, this could be the sign of you or your person, so the penguin or the hummingbird, or it could just be the archetypal energy of the reading. All right, so Pisces, and I should say Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or North Node. Leo, Pisces and Leo. Aquarius. Sagittarius. Okay, yeah, we did see Sagittarius. Scorpio. Gemini. I was getting strong Gemini energy off of the hummingbird. I don't know, if you relate to being the hummingbird, you could have Gemini in your chart somewhere. All right, so thank you for staying for this reading. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care. And of course, give thumbs up and join me again for another reading.